working on, what we're going to do today is we're just going to go to create, and we're going to create a new document. Okay, we're going to call this document simple block. Click OK. Moment or two to process and to create that file, create that workspace. We've been here before. We've got this 3D X, Y, Z, these different axes that we work in, okay, in the 3D world. We're going to take this axis first of all, this view. We're going to click on it. And we're going to go to sketch. We're going to select that as a sketch now, and here's our geometry, our sketch tools. We're going to take this rectangle tool. Just make sure that we've selected that. Yep, that sketch is on. That's active. It's already been selected. Take this rectangle tool, and we're just going to click and drag. Okay, I'm going to draw a rectangle just like that there. I want to go to the top view, just click top like so. I want to go back to isometric, just go to isometric. Yeah, I'm going to add some dimensions to this to make sure it's the size that I want. Okay, I'm going to take the dimensions tool, click, drag, click, again, click and drag. And I think that what I'll do is I'll make this here. Let's make this 80 mil. Press enter. And we'll double click here. And we'll make this, let's try 170. Press enter. No, that looks too long to me. So what I'll need to do is bring that down. Let's try 150. There we go. Still too long. I'm going to make it 140. That's the proportions I'm happy with. Okay, I'll now just select that like so. I'm happy with it. But look at the top view, and I've realized I don't like those proportions, and I want to change it. My dimensions tool is gone. If at any time I want to change this sketch, I'll need to go to this history bar. You can see here, that's that first sketch. Remember, sketch one where I created. I can click on that, become selected, right click, and I can edit it. Yeah. That means that what I can do is I can trim, or I can add a radius or a fillet. Yeah, I can do whatever. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to change the dimensions. So I'll take my dimensions tool and I'll click on this line here. We can see it's already there at 80 mil. I'm going to double click. I'm going to change that to 90. Yeah, I'm just showing you there how you can go back and you can edit a feature that you created historically, that you created previously. Let's go back to isometric view. Yeah. Now what I want to do is I want to make this rectangle. I want to make this into a cuboid. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to choose this tool here, which is called extrude. Click on extrude. What it's going to say is it's going to ask me now that I want to create a new solid. Yeah. And I'm adding material, and I'm going to increase that there to make it 40 mil thick. Yeah. Now I haven't got a preview of that, but if I click OK, there you can see now it's 40 mil thick, and it's now 3-dimensional. Yeah, we can orbit round, we can look at that. Yeah, that's 3-dimensional. To go back to my original view, isometric, there we go. Now what I would like to do is I would like to create another 3D form on this surface here. So what I'll need to do is select it. Yeah, I want it to be on this surface, not that one. Yeah, deselect these, so not this one. I want it on this one. Now both surfaces are selected at the moment. To deselect, click on it again. So this surface is now going to be a new sketch surface. Yeah, I'll take my rectangle tool again, and I will right click, and I will drag, just one single click, and I'll drag it over to here. Yeah. Click to release. Change the dimensions to the right sort of proportions. So I'll take that there now. It's currently 44.34571. I'm going to change that to straight 45. Now, this is something I forgot to tell you, and I did mean to tell you. If when you created your account, yeah, you didn't set this so it works in millimeters, it may well be working in inches for you. If you need to change that, you need to go to your account up here. Yeah. You can go to my account. Yes, that is me. I've got a filter on it though, so I'm not really that old. Okay, I'm going to go to preferences, and you can see here I can change it from millimeters to centimeters to inches to meters, etc. Okay, we always work in millimeters. decimal spaces, I'm going to change that so it's just one decimal place. And again, I'm going to make that one decimal place. Make that one decimal place. So in millimeters now. Save those changes. Come on, computer, hurry up. And I'm going to return to the document. There we go. So I've drawn that rectangle there on that surface. I'm going to select it now, and I'm going to extrude that. And I think I'll extrude this a distance of, let's make this a distance of 60. Press enter, or you can press OK, and there we go, it updates. Yeah, so we've got a more complex form. I could have drawn that initially by just drawing on this work plane here, on this sketch surface. I could have just drawn that as an L shape, couldn't I? Yeah, using my trim tool. But I've done it this way. Yeah, there's more than one way to go about things. Now what I would like to do, just click here. Remember, I can say here that the length of that line is 90 millimeters. And what I would like to do is I'd like to round off that corner. Okay, that's called a fillet. I sometimes call it a radius, but technically actually known as a fillet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that edge, just the edge. And I'm going to use this tool here, where it says fillet. And you can use a shortcut, Shift and F. But I'm going to put a fillet on there. You can see there, it's just rounded off a little bit. Can you see that there? See if I zoom in, I've just rounded that corner off. I'm going to put a nice big fillet there. It's going to be half of this width, okay? Now the width, remember, it was 90, so I'm going to put that at 45. There we go. I've got a nice big fillet on that edge. Let's go back to isometric so we can get a good view of that. Yeah, so that's what's known as a fillet. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to take this edge and add what's called a chamfer. Okay, a chamfer or a draft angle. If we click on it there, yeah, it's chopped off the corner now. So instead of having just two faces, which I previously had, I've got 1, 2, 3 faces. Yeah. Now we can make this chamfer either an equal or an unequal distance. Okay, I'm going to go to 2 distances. I'm going to have the first distance, let's have that at 25. And we'll have this next one at 30. Now it hasn't automatically updated. We don't get a preview, but there we go. Now if I've changed my mind about that and I don't like it, we know, don't we, that I can go to this here, my history, my timeline, or my actions here. I can right click on that and I can say edit. And I could change that from maybe perhaps instead of it being 25, I think I'm going to make that, let's have a little look. I'm going to leave it as it is actually. But I could make it, okay, just to show you that I can make it 15. Yeah. So that's a fillet or a radius. This is a chamfer or a draft angle. Now what I want to do is I want to create a castellation. Okay, now castellation is like the turret on a castle. Take this edge here. I can say that that's 75 mil. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this surface here. That's going to be a new sketch. I'm going to take my rectangle tool and I'm going to draw a rectangle which is 25 by, that's also 25, isn't it? Oh, it says it's 30, so I'm going to make it 25 by 30. So it's going to have, yeah, can you see how it's connected there? I've got that yellow dotted preview line. Yeah, that's snapping to this corner. So I'm going to make this castellation have the same depth. I click here. I need to go to my dimensions tool. Where is it? There it is. Yep. Click and drag. I'm going to double click and I want that just to be 25 because remember this full distance here is 75. So I want to have it 25, 25, 25. Press enter. And what I also want to do is make sure using my dimensions tool that that distance from here to here, yeah, did you see how I clicked and selected it? It's also 25. Press enter. Now it's came up red, yeah? That said that there's a problem. Sketch could be not solved, okay? I've made a contradiction. I've already, I've set a constraint and it's saying, no, that doesn't make sense. So I'll cancel it, yeah? My drawing has disappeared now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch again, create a new sketch. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a little bit of geometry, yeah? I'm going to put a line along here and I'm going to measure that line and say that that line is 25 mil, 0 decimal places. Then what I can do is take this next one. Yeah, if I just pause there, it realizes that I'm trying to connect to it. So I'll make this also, click and drag, take my dimensions tool, take it like so, and make that 25. Yeah, just close that. And I'm happy with that. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is take my extrude tool, click on that sketch, and I don't want to add material, I want to remove it. Yeah. And you can see there, it's going to remove it to a distance of 25 mil. Now, if I remember correctly, this depth here was 40. Yeah. So I can just take that there, at 40, click OK. Oh, it mustn't be 40, it must be, let's just double check. It's 45. So I need to go back to that extrude, edit, change that there to 45. So it's extruding all the way through to subtract material. So repeat, what I've done is I've changed my dimensions, so I'm working in millimeters. I've created a 3D form using the extrude tool. I've worked on a new work surface, a new work plane. I've extruded again. I've created a fillet or a radius. I've created a chamfer, also known as a draft. And there I have created a castellation. Yeah. Next, what I want to do is I want to put a hole in the middle here. Okay. I'm just going to take a few dimensions. I remember that this is 90. I'm just going to check here by clicking on it, and we can see that that's 95. Okay. So if I wanted a hole which was right in the middle, what I could do is go back to the top there. I do not want to snap to that there because it's going to become permanent and fixed to that point, which is known as a datum. Yeah, that's the center of this axis. That's the datum. I don't want to draw on there. But what I do want to do is select this here as a sketch, take my circle tool, look straight down on it, and I'm going to approximate where I want my circle to appear. I'm going to have my circle around about let's have it about there. Let's change that there, the size of it, so it's also 40 mil. Press enter. There we go, it's bigger. And I should be able to, let's just see if I can do this. Oh. Switch my dimensions tool off, and what I can do now I've switched the dimensions tool off, is I can pick it up and I can move it around. Yeah. So I'm going to position it. I'm going to put it now. I could have drawn up a series of lines so I could calculate exactly where the center of this surface was. Okay, and those lines, when I look at the 3D part, they wouldn't appear, or I could have deleted those lines afterwards. I could draw some lines to help me locate the exact position of this, but I'm not worried about that too much. We can look at doing that later on. You saw me do that anyway when I did my castellation. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to isometric view. I'm happy with the position of that. Click OK. Now what I want to do is I want to subtract some material, but I don't want to go all the way through. Now, if I remember, this part is 40 mil thick. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that part there. Take just that part there. Go to extrude, and I want it to remove material. Yeah. A distance of, we'll have it halfway, 20 mil. Yeah. Click OK. I would also, what I would like to do is just round that edge off. Okay, put a radius on it. So I've selected it. I'm going to go again to fillet, and I'm going to put a 5 mil. It's already defaulted to 5 mil. Let's make it 10 mil. There we go. it's nicely rounded off. Okay, so I've got a whole range of different features on there. Now what you can also do, we'll look at that later. What I'm going to do now, just go back to my isometric view. I want to change the appearance of this object. Yeah, I want to make it look, I want to change its color. Okay, so first up, what I'll do is select the whole thing by clicking and dragging over the entire object. Go to the appearance panel, and if I look at these three squares, these three circles here, I can click on that. It's a bit like a Venn diagram. I can add face appearance. Okay, I think that what I would like to do is I would like the entire thing. Now I can have it so it's not the entire thing. Yeah, I can deselect various features, but I'm going to basically make this now, apart from those features I've just switched off, I'm going to make it purple. So you can see there, yeah, that those features, there we go. Let's get them all purple. Let's get the whole thing done. Oh, it must be, there it is, there it is. So I'll select that feature as well. The whole thing now has turned that particular color. Change it again. There we go. I'm happy with that. Yeah. So